listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello! We're here with Animal Party, and I have an amazing guest for you today. Before we welcome Vladislav Roytapel onto the show, I want to just tell you a little bit, catch you up on the news just a little bit, and let you follow up on something I told you about earlier, and let you know about the big decision that's just come down in Canadian law. Now, you probably remember there were 100 husky sled dogs killed right after the Olympics by a tourist company called Outdoor Adventures, and Outdoor Adventures is still in business, but they were caught and they're being punished, and it's all before the courts. And in the meantime, commission was started, and they made some recommendations, and already the premier of the province said she was going to adopt them all. So the recommendations, it's coming fast. The recommendations are that there be an overseeing body, that there be new mandatory sentences for cruelty when cruelty of this kind is found, where there's always, or where there can be up to 2 years sentence, and when there's always a fine of about $25,000. So everything just got harder for people who want to be cruel to animals in our province, and we're hoping the rest of Canada will adopt these regulations and make it harder for people who are cruel to animals. But it's a little bit of good news. It's a little bit of good news, and the industry, it looks like, will probably be getting cleaned up a lot. And that means the people who are in it who are good are going to be happy about this too, because we all want it to be a kind and just place for working dogs. So I just wanted to give you the update on that. And now we're going to welcome to our show the Russian dog wizard, Vladislav Roytapel. And he's been doing this. He's been winning at obedience since he was 12. He's an adult now, and he's worked for the Russian Guard, the Red Army, the KGB. He's been to the circus and back, that's for sure. He's a bit unusual. He actually wears white shoes when he trains dogs, so we'll find out about that. And we're going to have Vladislav Roytapel onto the show. Welcome to the party, Vladdy.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for a nice introduction. Have you been politician before? No?
No, I don't think so. I'm a little bit too controversial, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But you know what? Recently, the Green Party here in Canada got shut out of a debate. Right? And of all the parties, I mean, regardless of where your politics lie, they're kind of on the side of nature and the animals, you know, so they kind of merit a mention on this show. They just got shut out of the national debate. All the other parties are allowed to come. They're not allowed to come. The second time it's happened makes me really mad. It makes me almost want to get into politics, but I don't think so, Vladi. I think I'm better at pet radio. So the Red Army, the KGB, that sounds scary.
Oh, no, it's a sounds. What about FBI, CIA? It sounds scary? No, it's the same thing.
Yes, it sounds scary.
Most intelligent people came from the intelligence services. I was not part of KGB, but I trained dogs for them to spy, you know, on the Russian civilians or on different countries. And, you know, this was a very high-tech way of the dog training. After such experience dealing in America with all those, you know, stupid Labrador retrievers who are eating the underwear or landscaping stones or jumping on the people, or German Shepherds wants to bite, and I can go on. And it's, for me, it's like you're asking brain surgeon to put the shot in the dog's butt. It is very simple. Just for everyone letting know, I also certified animal behaviorist. I graduated a private school of Aventa in the Soviet Union and state of Moldova. Spent many years there. So it's not just the training, it's also behavior. And in one hand, I am combining those two.
Well, what you said, a lot of things there. Stupid Labrador retrievers. First of all, I got to defend the Labrador retrievers. They're the top Canadian export, as far as I can see. They are from the area of Canada called Labrador, and they were used to jump into the water and pull out buoys and pull out the nets. So they were really part of the fishing and the whole, you know, the whole running and feeding and working of the people. So they were really, really important dogs. They're not dummies. Yeah. They're very trainable, and the reason they're so kind of chunky looking is because they need that fat to swim in the cold water. They got a great coat for water. They got web feet. They're really easygoing. I like to call them the beginner dogs. Dog that a person should start with. What do you think?
Let me tell you, among the trainers here in the United States, we call them stupid, and not just because they're
no.
and not just because they're stupid. Let me tell you.
Come on, have you never met a pug or an Afghan? They're not. Labradors are geniuses by comparison.
Let me tell you a little bit about labs, and for everyone who is listening to me right now, Labrador. I'm not racist or breedist or colorist, but the color of the lab is really affecting their personality. So you know, and I know, we have a chocolate lab. We have a yellow.
That's high energy. The chocolate one is spinny.
Chocolate lab is dumb and has allergy problems all the time.
Yeah, a little bit trouble with skin. That's true, and diet. Yeah.
Now, black lab would be hyperactive. If somebody calls me and just say, "Hey, my dog has just ate, underwear or sock or stolen, and shredded like some type of any items, household items," I know it's a black lab. They are very hyperactive, but very kind of it's working dogs. But unfortunately, if somebody calls us and tell me that, have aggressive issues and they mention they have a lab, I know it is the yellow lab. So if somebody who is listening to us having the yellow lab, they got to be trained them well and things like that. But when I said about Labradors are stupid, it's not because they're stupid, because they're very physically insensitive and very friendly. That's a Democrat dogs. Everyone can stop by, give the cookie and just say, "Hey, come on, let's go, lab," and lab will go. Try to do it to my German Shepherd. It's not going to happen. And second of all, I remember just a few days ago, I trained one lab, and that lab tried to jump into my van with a closed door. The crate was in, and my Shepherd look at that and say, "Oh, a German Shepherd would never do that. What you're doing?" That lab jump in the door, bounce back, and just say, there is the crate. I think it's open.
But there's other aspects to the personality differences. Like a German Shepherd is more of a worrier. He's a lot more careful in a lot of ways. A lab is kind of happy-go-lucky. So in a lot of ways, a lab can be a nice dog for people to have, even though you think they're stupid. I've got to point out they use them to work with blind people, and you can't be stupid for that.
No. Again. We don't call it. I mean, when I say the stupid, it means I know Canadian people are very sensitive a little bit.
Oh, are we now?
They do. Americans more like straightforward, especially from Midwest. When I say again stupid, because the Labrador, how to put it in the different terms? Let's say you can send Labrador Retriever in the freezing water. Like I would say in the Celsius, like a 0 - 25 outdoors.
Like 30 degrees Fahrenheit, real cold water.
Yeah, exactly. And jump into the water and grab something and bring it back and shake it off and hang around the boat, like you said, at 30 degrees around. And that lab will think that stuff is fun. I mean, I remember that. Bliss,
joy, happiness.
Yeah, you will send a, let's say, standard poodle, which I love that breed. It's also water retriever, and you send him to do the same task, that dog will perish. That dog will die from this type of activity. Labrador, let's do it again. Who cares? That's
But the standard poodle is a cold water retriever. He just needs to do a lot more and think a lot more. So he would be doing things like finding the prey, locating it, and flushing it out, and then getting it once you've shot it from far away. I mean, he'd just be doing a lot more. They like a busy brain.
I love standard poodles. I would myself have standard poodle if I could, but here in Southern California, where I'm in Los Angeles area, if the man is owning poodle, people think about him, I don't know, can I say it or not, they think he's the gay. And I'm nothing against it, but it's kind of goes against the Russian nature. So I just...
It's kind of funny because they're so huge. One of mine, my stud Vegas, is huge. He's bigger than a Ridgeback, really a large dog. I don't know why that's not considered macho. It's all in the haircut. You just couldn't, paint him purple and put
There is a better alternative than the standard poodle. Would be Portuguese water dog. Amazing dog like Barack Obama had.
Yeah.
Has.
I like them.
Yeah, I train them a lot for Russian military. That's amazing dogs, divers. I love them so much. There would be, if somebody wants to get the dog like something like a German Shepherd, but not really German Shepherd, because in a lot of times German Shepherds can be bad dogs, but they want to still have a smart dog, like a loyal dog, one man, one woman dog. But they don't want to get the poodle. Portuguese water dog is the great choice.
Okay, well, we're going to be back after the break, and I'm going to ask you about those white shoes and a couple more things. I want to know about David Letterman later at this party, because I know you've met him, and I've been watching his stupid pet tricks and other things for years, and I would love to meet him. I know I'd have a great time going on his show, so I want to ask you how that went. So we're going to go to the break, and we'll be back right after, back to the party, with Vladislav Roytapel, the Russian dog wizard. Come back to the animal party.
Go anywhere, because the best is yet to come. Stick around.
Buster, you're telling me my dog food products can't go on your shelves?
That's right. Didn't pass one of my Petco certified nutrition checklists. Sorry, Wayne.
Who made these checklists?
Geniuses. Very smart guys.
Well, it's good enough for most grocery stores.
Do you see cheese puffs on my shelves? Mayonnaise? Soda pop?
No.
That's because I ain't running no grocery store, Wayne. Your pets will get better nutrition, I guarantee it. Petco, where the healthy pets go.
Enter the code PARTY10, PARTY, the number 10, and get 10% off any order. No minimum at petco.com.
Whether they're big, small, hairy, or whatever, you're going to need gear for your feet. And Kids Foot Locker's got all the great shoes and gear that'll get you in the game.
Go to kidsfootlocker.com and enter the code AFAP10KF to get 10% off any order of $50 or more. Or enter the code AFAP15KF to get 15% off any order of $75 or more at kidsfootlocker.com.
And cover those funky feet.
FTD's network of over 40,000 florists around the world have been creating beautiful handcrafted arrangements for 100 years. Each arrangement is delivered the same day and backed by FTD's 7-day satisfaction guarantee. For a century, people have trusted their most important occasions to the flower experts at FTD.
Since Pet Life Radio is all about puppy dogs and flowers, our listeners, that's you, can get a 20% discount on your order. Just go to fluorop.com and use the code LUCKIES20 at checkout. FLEUROP.com. Code word LUCKYS and the number 20.
Got questions about your hound's health? Need the facts on Fido's fitness or food? You want to unleash your pup's potential? Well, you've come to the right place with Win with Dogs. Here, we learn how easy it is to naturally improve the lives of our furry friends. So sit, stay, and get ready to win with dogs. With me, Raquel Wynn. Exercise, nutrition, interaction, and love make for one healthy, happy hound. Give yourself the gift of knowledge on demand every week right here at Pet Life Radio with me, Raquel Wynn, and Win with Dogs.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
You're inside the VIP room
with the hottest party in town.
Back to the party.
Let's go.
Hello. We're back at the party with Vladislav Roytapel. And he used to be from Russia, but he's from America now. He's from Southern California, SoCal Dog Training, where he gets to, well, I guess he gets to train dogs for some of the celebrities. And in fact, at one point, he went up to New York City. And I've seen a clip on your website, Vlad, of you with David Letterman. You did things with David Letterman I would never dare do. I would never make him be a dog. Oh, my goodness. What a good clip that is. So tell us about it. What was it like to be on Letterman?
Oh, it was such an exciting experience. Can you imagine, Debbie? You're working with the clients, and I know you're working as hard as I do with like, private clients. And it was about 8:30 in the evening, and somebody insistently were calling on my cellular phone, and I was having, done some aggressive dog, did some exercise on that dog, and I just, who is calling there? Well, the dog was down, and I just, with my right hand, I just pulled that phone and just say, from New York. So I say, who is this? Who is bothering Russian dog wizard in such a time?
Who dares to disturb me now while I work my magic?
Exactly. You know how Russians talk to Americans, Who is calling me right now? And they was, okay, this is, from David Letterman show. Would you like to be the guest? I kind of was speechless for a while, and after that I gathered all my thoughts together, and I said, well, of course I do. Well, if you want to, you need to be here basically tomorrow morning.
It's always like that, isn't it? When you get a big opportunity, it's like, okay, 4 a.m. at this airline counter, and you're just like, how do I make that work? It's so hard.
Exactly, but those guys are amazing. They organized everything. They momentarily put one person in charge. It was it was here 8:00 in Los Angeles area. But can you imagine? It was about probably 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the east.
They're good. Did they get you the dog? Did they book the dog, bring the dog, all that? You didn't have to?
No, I don't need to bring the dog, but I put all my training tools and everything, and I didn't sleep almost whole night, and in the morning I was there. And boy, it was a tremendous experience. Like Cadillac was like people were meeting you. They put you in the car, open the door, put you in the luxury hotel when I had chance to sleep at least 1-2 hours. And after that, they brought me for rehearsal. And I told them, listen, I'm not good of rehearsal. I do great shows, but it's not I don't like to.
Okay, right there we're different. I would never tell them anything. They tell me to stand on that X, I'll stand on that X. They tell me to say my lines today, I'll say my line. I'm obedient when I'm in the studio. I do what I'm told.
I like obedient girls, that's for sure.
Well, only in the studio and only for the director. But okay, so you actually asserted yourself, and they still had you on. I'm surprised they didn't just go with someone else. I've heard some stories about behind the scenes at Letterman and also at Oprah, where you do what you're told or you're out of there. So it sounds like they really wanted you. So
they wanted me, I also got some Russian souvenirs, gifts, some, and they love me, and they love the direction. I analyzed the situation. They asked me what you can show pretty quick. I mean, what type of the tricks? And I said, yes, I need to do this, and that. And they said, what type of the dog you need? I said, stupid lap would be fine.
Stupid lap. Oh my gosh.
And they
was David Letterman, he seems like he's a real dog lover. Is he a dog lover?
I think so, yeah. I think he's the dog lover, and I appreciate the time. I mean, a lot of people say, he kind of was rude to you at the end because you did this and this. I don't really think so, because, I took so much time, which he gave me so much time. And of course, you know me, even you sometimes have
gotta cut you off sometimes. I know. You can keep going forever.
Exactly. So, but I really took him by surprise when I say, now, David, let me show you how I train my American clients. You'll be pretend dog, and your name will be Max, and you'll be Labrador Retriever. He said,
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that you got David Letterman to pretend to be a dog and walk on a leash with you. That is just not how I would have done it. I would have had a great time on Letterman, and I know he would have had a good time too, but I wouldn't have dared do that. No way.
And from that time, when I put the leash around his wrist, it's something like, I had such a great inspiration. You know how it's happening, like, you just
it just happened.
And I kind of really, I think, took over that stuff. But before I was a little bit shaky, of course, and I was nervous. But once I got to the training part, that became very easy. And that dog, Chocolate Lab, I tell you, I worked a little bit behind the scenes a little bit. So when I say, you want to jump on me? He momentarily jumped on me.
Yeah, he jumped all over you. I saw that. He was up for it.
Yeah, so that's what I love the labs as far as show the tricks, because they are great performers. You can train them one way or another way. By the way, Labrador Retriever was one of the producers who, after that, I gave him great training sessions, and he loved the result. We're still in contact with him.
So, okay. In one of your interviews, I heard you say on air that you can train an old dog new tricks. And I believe that too. You were talking to a caller about a 5-year-old dog who had been a puppy mill survivor, and it was messing in its crate, and it kept doing these habitual things. And you were saying, look, you can still train it. Okay, so you can train an old dog a new trick. Can we teach an old dog trainer new tricks, do you think?
Are you pointing to me, or?
I'm just wondering, we keep doing these shows together, and over time, I'm wondering if someday I will be able to teach you to like cats. Do you think that's possible?
No, it will not possible.
Not possible.
Because it's very interesting what you said to me just yesterday. I had one training in the pet store, and my who I trained that day. Oh, very nice. 4 months Doberman. 4 months Doberman was performing magic in the pet store in American School of Public Education, dog training public education. 4 months, puppy should just walk around all those in those stupid classes in the circles. That's all. My Doberman did magics. So anyway, we were staying this way, and one lady were buying some bag of the food, and I was, was asking her, some question, and she was very rude to me, and she told me I don't like the dogs at all. When I looked what the food she's buying, she was buying cat food. I said, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't like the dogs because you're kind of cat person. Of course, I added after that, well, what I believe the only good thing about a cat, it's a good exerciser for the dogs. So we like each other in the same way.
Oh, yes. You're getting along so well. That's the only good thing a cat is for. Not to keep our grain safe, not to get rid of mice and rodents. No, not that. Just to exercise the dogs. Oh, boy, Vladi.
What else the cats' needs are? Just probably catch the mouse and rats.
Comfort, caring.
Downtown Detroit, I think that's a great, great asset to have those pets. But I live in the prestigious and luxury Newport Beach in California, so in the nice condo. So I have my German Shepherd, Mika. Mika, come on, baby. Good girl. We don't need the cat. And as a matter of fact, every time when I come to my client's home, my Mika first thing is asking me, do we have a cat here? Because I didn't have a lunch or something. So that's how we like them.
Oh, no. Well, we'll have to talk further on that for sure. But for today, we're interviewing you about the things you like to talk about. And I know cats aren't on the menu there.
What about my white? What you said about my white underwear? Or excuse me, white.
No, your white shoes. Now, okay, I heard you talking about how you have your trademark white shoes to train dogs, and I couldn't help but look out the window when you said that. At my farm here in the rainforest with mud all the way, there's no way you could wear white shoes here. It says more about your climate, but still, that's pretty amazing to go train dogs in white shoes. That's really confident.
It is, and and I did it even in Midwest, in Michigan, which is weather is not as different as you just described. So this is kind of my trademark. Why I use the white shoes, basically to letting the people know, it's kind of message to them. Dog training is not difficult. Dog training, it's not about dog training people. It's about your training. Your dogs misbehave because you don't know how to behave. You speak to your dogs in English, but the only language you dogs speak is Doglish. And let me
one thing I want to say is, even in this interview, you've been talking and everybody can hear that you're kind of a macho guy, and yet on air you talk baby talk, you raise your voice really, really high, you went, Miko, come, good girl. And so maybe you can explain to people why, even if you're a macho guy, if you want a dog to listen to you, you gotta change your tone. You gotta sound happy, and you gotta sound different. You gotta have two different ways you sound. So maybe you can spell that out for people.
Exactly, and I'm glad you said about macho boy. Yes, I'm kind of, not a fragile guy, but I don't want your listeners' heads want under impression. So anything what I would do involved any roughness or anything like that, I would never be celebrity, never be where I am. If you put my name on internet, thousands things are coming and nothing negative. So what I do, my trademark is Doglish, like you said. That Doglish, which is dog language, consists of sounds, different sounds, and body language movements. Let me give to your listeners pretty quickly some type of the samples. For instance, instead of saying "good boy," "good girl" when the dog did something good or bad, like some guys do it because, like guys hate to sound like a girl and things like that. Unfortunately, North American culture, it's, for some reason, even associate yourself like you're, as if being lady is the bad things. Back in Europe, woman, Russian lady, she's proud to be the woman. She's proud to be the girl. So I see it's a little bit some texture here for some reason, but a different topic. But you gotta praise your dog in the high pitch, like a doggy mother. Oh, when she wants to be high pitch and loving, you have to say, "Good girl, good boy," and that's the dog is hearing that high pitch. You speak in English, the dog understands the sounds in Doglish. And as I say like this, my dog's tail is wagging right now. By opposite, don't tell your dog no. I believe in North America, millions of dogs believe the word no is their nickname, because people use that word so many times without any consequences. It's no matter what you say, people. It's what you've done. You gotta put the teeth in your word. And if you win 3-4 consecutive battles, you will win the war. But putting the consequence, I don't mean you have to beat up your dog or do something abusive, but a lot of things what I'm teaching, as you, for instance, using your hand as the doggy mama using canine, almost like a claw, like a teeth, and sharply touch the certain points of the body to show displeasure as you move forward. By the way, moving forward, it's just assertiveness when you invade the dog's personal space. If the dog jumps on you, why don't you scream the word of disapproval, more like ah? The dog is associating. Clap your hands and move forward and freeze. 1, 2, 3. Boom, and freeze. Why freezing, Deborah? Freezing means if you don't stop, I will bite you.
Right, drawing the line in the sand the way a dog would.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
This is where I stop. Don't pass here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's continue on, I definitely apply law of escalation. We can use one of my wonderful device by name Pet Convincer. People can Google it. Pet Convincer. It's emit a spray of air and sound. So if that Labrador Retriever like to jump on kids or on you, and you want to do something humane, and you clap, and you did, and nothing works, you just squall that air. The water is bad. The water will. Labradors, a lot of dogs love the water. It does not give them anything, but this is really works. You just one convincing air blast, bad behaviors in the past. Your dog may be not bad. You just need that.
Okay, well, we're going to have to go to break. We'll come back, and I'll be asking Vladi a little bit about, I know he said in the past that in America, we are too soft. We want to be our dog's friends, not their bosses. And he's told me he doesn't think people should sleep with their dogs. So I want to talk about that when we come back. But just before we go to the break, I just want to say, you've all heard me before. You know that I don't recommend what he just said. So you know that if your dog's jumping on you, I've got methods. You can teach him how to stay off. And Vladi knows these work. He just thinks his work better and faster. But I've got methods that'll help you teach your dog to stay off real quick, real easy, and you won't have to do those things that you don't feel comfortable with. You'll be able to do it with guiding him to do it right and praising him and rewarding him and touching him. And when he doesn't do it right, so if it's jumping, he'll be on a leash and he'll be made to greet kids or whoever he's jumping on. And every time he sits, he'll get a treat or he'll get petted and he'll get told how good he is. And every time he doesn't sit, he'll get completely ignored. And it won't take long at all, just minutes to train him to sit for children. So we'll be back after the break with Vladislav Roytapel, and he'll be telling you more about his take on dog training, but also why he thinks we shouldn't sleep with our dogs and why he thinks Americans don't want to be the boss and why that's a problem. So stay tuned. Come back to the party, everybody. Party with your animals here at Animal Party.
Don't leave this party before it's over because the best is yet to come. Only losers leave the party early anyway. Party on. Back in a few.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to petmeds.com/party, PARTY, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more.
At Petco, we really love pets. There isn't anything we won't do to make sure they're getting the best products and the best care. So when you ask us a question like,
so how do you feel about cat condos?
We can say from experience,
feels like home for her.
Enter the code PARTY10, PARTY, the number 10, and get 10% off any order. No minimum at petco.com.
Would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand. This is the place for a special paparazzi treat. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life
PetLifeRadio.com.
Radio.
You're inside the VIP room.
With the hottest party in town.
Back to the party.
Let's go.
Hello! We're back at Animal Party with Vladislav Roytapel as our guest today. He's the Russian dog wizard. And as you can probably tell already, he's from the opposite side of the dog park. I'm on that gentle, loving, praise side. And he's on the side that is also into praise and guidance, but they're not afraid to use deterrents and punishments for bad behavior. So I'm on the timeout and control side, and he's more on the deterrent side. So we do differ there, although there's plenty of room to meet in the middle, and both of us could train any dog anytime, anywhere. Don't you worry about that. So we'll just keep going today with our topics. And I do want to ask you, Vladislav, I know you've told me before you think that Americans, and I think you mean Canadians too, spoil their dogs, and maybe we try to be their friend, not their boss. Is that true, or am I misquoting you there?
It is, and I was telling you off the air also, if I slept with you in your bed, baby, I would not listen you either. It's like a dog, you know?
No, see, that's not right. That's not right. You don't know the... No. My husband would tell you, if I slept with you, you've been sleeping with the wrong woman. If I slept with you, you would be forever under my control after that. But we don't have to talk about that. This is a pet show, and I'm blushing, which doesn't normally happen on the air. So let's...
You intrigued me really well, but let me tell to you listeners, number one, I am the balance trainer, like you said. I believe in praise, but I also believe in the discipline. And I believe English words has yes and no, and the no will never be no if you will not distinctively show. The no is the no. Dogs are physical. The way of the canine communication in the form of jumping, nudging, touching, humping, biting. This is a normal part of canine communication. We humans can have all means to duplicate that natural way of canine communication by mimicking it, by imitating it. Any way of punishment and correction which is based on doggy mother way of correcting its own child, that will work positively. Every correction in the way of, yanking, holding the leash, choking, I know what trainers do nowadays, that would, based on the human type of the punishment, hitting with newspaper, that type of the, based on the human type of the punishment will create a negative effect. Like I said, you in English has the words yes and no. We have the words da and net in Russian. And the doggy mother, I would like to everyone to listen to me, because the truth is always easy identifiable, because it makes sense. Doggy mother has two expressions to reinforce her rules. She has the tongue to lick. She has the teeth to bite. Doggy mother is not North American mother. She does not repeat the things. She growls one time, she snaps, she licks, and it's forgiven and forgotten. It's not like a woman who just never forget what she forgive. And nobody goes to the jail because canine culture do not have...
I don't know about that. I breed dogs, and before I ever bred dogs, I used to take care of breeding kennels when people would go away. So I've had exposure to an awful lot of different breeds: Wheatons, Jack Russells, Dobermans, Shelties, Golden Retrievers, Golden Doodles, Standard Poodles, which is what I breed, but all different kinds of dogs, even German Shepherds once. And I see very different mothering techniques. A Golden Retriever mama most of the time is like a hippie mama. She's very easygoing. I don't see this kind of correction from her. And her puppies are all over the place. Whereas a Standard Poodle mama is like a military mom. But you also don't see physical corrections much from her, because she's on it so fast, so quick, so intense, so growly, so fast that it never even gets to that. So, there's different models, but I do understand what you mean about how physical they are, and dogs so respond to touch. So do cats, by the way, Vladi. And you know what? Cats can learn come, sit, stay, heel, shake, paw. Cats can do agility. Now, I got to see you Google that one. Look at a cat doing an agility course. And you can't tell me that a dog the same size could do the course as well. You just can't. And the cats aren't forced to do this, Vladi. They're not starving or anything.
But keep in your mind the famous Russian trainer, and he's having circle, Kuklachov. He's the world famous cat trainer. So, yes, cats can be trained. I am just... My soul, my heart is. It's not just there. I'm not the spokesperson for the cats. But let's get back to
Okay. Do you think you were a werewolf in another life? Is that what I'm getting here? You think you're half dog, half man?
Yeah, I think I was dog in the past life, and you should see how I'm acting with the dogs. I really communicate with them. Well, my grandfather was the Soviet biologist and zoologist, and he was conducting Pavlov type of the behavioral research with the farm animals. And when I was a child, I was working with his coyotes, puppies, wolves puppies, fox puppies, and even chickens. And when we go back to the question about sleeping in the bed, I even saw in the chicken house, chickens were always go to the bed, always located, the chickens in chicken house, they go it's the hierarchy. So they always goes to the certain spot. And if one of the chicken disobeying and takes somebody's spot, another chicken goes and momentarily disciplining it. And the rooster was on the top. So any promotion in the vertical direction from the dog's perspectives, it is giving more social privileges. Dogs are very sensible to that. So when you allow the dog put its scent over your scent on the couch or the furniture, and you're raising it vertically up, the dogs think you're giving them more privileges and more spaces. Now, all behavior problems in dogs basically reflecting few things, and one of them is the lack of the structures and lack of discipline in the dog's life, and of course not meeting their major needs, which is physical, social, and mental. But giving them
a lot of people miss the exercise. They think they have a defective dog when really the dog is perfectly what it should be, and they just don't run it enough. That's a lot of the time what I see.
It is, Deborah. But I also would like to mention, because you are not doing reinforced obedience training, so you cannot fully understand the concept, what a reinforced obedience training means. It means to teach your dog to do something in the time when he would rather not. We can train every dog come to you when you have a piece of the cookie.
Oh, of course. No. I don't use food lures all the time. Not at all. But I do understand what you're saying. The whole trick to this, every dog will come when they're there's nothing better to do. The
Yeah.
trick is to get him to come when there is something better to do that he'd
Exactly.
rather do, and then get him to come. Get him
And
to come at the dog park out of water when he's a golden retriever. Now that's a trick. But I get where you're coming from there. But why do you think, I mean, if someone has, I totally agree with you in so many ways. If I had a customer who had, for example, you named Dobermans, and I see them as a real good example of the type of dog who's kind of looking to take on authority every single day. Every day it wakes up and says, am I the king today? And it looks at its owner and it decides, am I the king today? You know, okay, that kind of dog, you don't want him on the bed. But what if you have an 8-year-old, totally well-behaved, sweet, well-adjusted pug? Can you not have your pug on the bed? He doesn't want to be the leader. He doesn't care. He goes to the bathroom where he's supposed to. He likes everybody he's ever met. Is there a difference for you?
I'm glad you brought that point, because from the behavioral point of view, nothing wrong about taking those dogs in the bed. As a matter of fact, it's really nothing wrong about this, because I just meant pets who have some behavioral problems. Because
okay.
Yeah, but from the health point of view, we Europeans not too much about allowing their dogs jump in your beds, because it's a infection transmitting diseases, and your dogs, people going to pee and poop, and after bringing all those worms on their paws, you know, I'm not type of the guy who is like paranoid of the things, but just have a common sense, you know. And after that, you know, your kids are playing, and after that they jump in the kids' bed and in your bed, and you know, it's a transmittable, and a lot of diseases nowadays, including cancer. A lot of researchers with a great concern talking about a worm-based infection who are killing our immune system. So just be careful. I mean, nothing wrong about treating your dog as the human, but before that, you gotta treat him as the dog.
Well, I have a few things to say about the sleeping with your pets, because I love sleeping with my pets. I sleep with cats. I used to sleep with dogs and cats, but my husband kind of said it has to be one or the other, and he'd really rather it be neither. But the cats come back. So, but he's outnumbered. He has no choice. But the research that came out recently that really hit the press about how dangerous it is to sleep with pets, I read it closely, and I went through all the corollary articles and found that basically what they were saying was worms and parasites were the main things, fleas, worms, and all kinds of parasites. So if you were treating your animals for those things preventatively, this wouldn't be an issue. The other thing was, if the animals were allowed to lick open wounds, and that's when people would die. That's when there were really, really serious consequences. And of course, you would not do that. If you had open wounds, you would cover them, bandage them. You'd not let your pets in the bed with you if you had open wounds. But the article also admitted that the people who are most likely to sleep with their pets are women. And we all know women outlive men, so I don't know.
To say something, and that's kind of funny, because most of my clients, Deborah, are ladies, because behavior problems never problems for their husbands, because their husbands never home. So on the second, the second, third session, they kind of confessing me. It's a very sad, but they are telling me, Vladi, you know, the only one reason we've got those pets, and dogs, of course, because I'm a dog trainer, to overcompensate or to compensate lack of affection and love from our boyfriends and husbands. Can you imagine? And that's very sad. And that's why they're taking their pets in the bed and things like that. So I agree with you. Preventive measures are great, but just again, Europeans believe even with all those preventive measures, you on the certain stages of developing with those worms and in other bugs, you really cannot kill all of them, and you cannot detect them. You know, even your dog is worm free from you, which you think, but it still can be transmittable. It's really affecting the immune system. My grandmother always telling me, if you touch the dog, wash your hands. That's, you know, and it's
and that's so sensible. You know, that's just sensible. I was researching for an interview I'm doing next week with Stanley Coren, Dr. Stan Coren, and I've had him on this show before, so if people are interested, you can look up the Pet Life Radio archives and hear the show I did with him on intelligence of dogs, and we actually won Best Pet Radio in America for that show, for Best Pet Podcast. But I'm having him on the air, so I was reading the book Why We Love the Dogs We Do, and I stumbled across some Russian facts, laddie. I got to tell you, I highlighted them because I knew I was coming on the air with you. Did you know, I know you keep saying it's an American thing, it's not a European thing. Did you know that Peter, the Tsar of Russia, slept with his Italian greyhound in his bed?
I don't want to hear that.
Not only that, but the Prussian leader at the same time did the same thing with a similar dog.
You know, the cat's a little bit more different because cats are more, I cannot say much cleaner, but I think they're more clean. What do you think, by the way? You know, it seems to me they're taking care of...
cleaner than dogs? Well, both are likely to have these things. Worms and fleas, the two main things they're talking about, or licking your open wounds. Dogs and cats are equally likely to do those things for you and give those things to you. But I think if you do the preventative measures, you're not going to have any problems with either of them. Are cats cleaner than dogs? Yeah, I think so. But the litter box is a problem. It gets on their feet. It can be with them. So it depends on how you're managing that.
But if you clean it well on time, it probably will be less problem with dogs. I mean, as far as catching those, those poops with their, stepping on it and things like this, because you're in charge, in control, which with dogs you have no control.
Cats spend hours every day cleaning themselves. They're extremely clean.
I believe it. I would like to ask you now, like the late show with David Letterman, I would like to take a charge and ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Pretty quickly. What do you believe is the three most important thing to raise the best dog? I mean, what is the to the perfect dog? What is the 3 secrets?
3 secrets to raise? I'm not really sure what you're getting at. From a puppy? When it's a baby? When you first get it? Like, I'm not...
Mm-hmm.
To get your puppy home, what's most important? I guess, first that its physical needs are met, for exercise, food, and that it's shelter. I mean, it's hard to put 3, but physical needs, all that in there, including exercise. And then clear rules and lots of attention, rewards, and praise when it's good.
Okay.
And confinement and redirection when it's not. And then you have a good dog.
And let me put in the terms for your listeners 3 secrets of the Russian dog wizard to the perfect dog. Secret number 1, proper genetics or proper personalities. Not everyone is created equally. Like, in North American culture, would like to tell you. In Russia, we say, even among beautiful parents, you can meet ugly child, but in reality, beautiful parents bring their beautiful kids. So get the puppy or from the if you're getting from the breeder or from the shelters, it doesn't matter. But you want to make sure the dog has a nice personality, friendly, not sketchy, not aggressive, wants to, like a Labrador Retriever, love everyone, thinks everyone is a good guy. That's going to be your first bet. Number 2, so proper genetics or proper personality is number 1 secret. Number 2, proper nutrition. If you're giving to your dog or to your kids junk food, they cannot think clearly. They cannot be developed properly. So they will be hyper, like giving kids pop all the time to drink, like a soda. They're going to be very hyper, cannot think clearly. So proper nutrition. We are promoting, I know you like it too, no grain diet. We're not talking about raw diet. Of course, it's a great thing, dehydrated raw food, but the real enemy is the grain. I like to give my dog high fat, high protein, low carb, no grain diet. And number 3 is because every time when you put the grain or grains in the dog's diet, you produce inflammation. Inflammation is the initial source of all diseases, including joint problems.
Just while we're on that, cats are even more, they're more carnivorous. They don't need grain at all, almost none. So really, all the grain that's in the cat food is completely unnecessary. They just really don't need it. And cats never have high cholesterol. Cats can digest a lot of the things that we wish we could, but we can't.
I agree.
Okay. So number 3.
And number 3, proper education, people. That is so important. Give your dog education your dog deserves. And remember, your dog will behave only as well as the trainer you will choose. Don't go to the trainer or to the classes because they are cheap and you're thinking it's like shopping for the furniture. No, in my practice, I had clients who been there and there, here and there, and spend $100 there, $100 there, and eventually they came to me. I look at that dog, I was thinking that dog never been even trained. So, get the qualified trainer, get the references, see the results, see the credentials, see the education and give your dog proper education. Don't try to do it yourself because it's not something which you can do yourself. If you want to do professionally, if you want your dog turns into the loving member of the family, which you can enjoy him every time, everywhere you take him with you, this is the way to go. Your listeners also can visit my website, which is socaldogtraining.com, socal, S-O-C-O-L, dogtraining.com, and or just Google Russian Dog Wizard, on internet, and order my dog training DVDs from my office. They need to call Obedience for Life, which I revealed all my secrets, how to train your dog quickly and easily and humanely, and train them professionally in your own home, in your privacy, in your own home, and basically in no time.
So, okay, I wanted to ask you something about the National Geographic that was just out, and I don't know if you saw it, but I know you know about the research it talked about. So the National Geographic has this huge thing on the foxes in Russia, and how they've tried to see tameness and feralness or wildness, viciousness, aggressiveness. They created 2 pools of foxes, breeding and breeding for these traits, trying to get the most tame fox and the most vicious fox all the time. And one thing from the research that I found really surprising, and I guess you wouldn't from what you just said with your top 3, but it really surprised me, was they took a kit, a baby, a puppy, from a very aggressive fox, one of the most aggressive, and they tricked it into thinking its mom was one of the sweetest ones, one of the really, really tame ones, and yet it made no difference. The thing was as aggressive and vicious as you can imagine. It never took to any of the things the mom was trying to teach it about trusting humans. So I hear what you're saying about the nature-nurture, but usually I just assume once I'm called to come train a puppy, that's the puppy they've got. I don't really get to influence their choice. But if the puppy is skittish or is fearful or is a little on the aggressive side, we can still train them, can't we, Vladi?
Yes, we still can train. Any dog can be trained. It all depends to what level. People thinking about it's like investing money in uploaded font. You will spend some time and money to get to the ground the ground zero before you get any benefits. I can turn every dog around, and I'm sure you can do it too. It's all about to what level. Now, when I'm talking about people have got what they've got, you're absolutely right. I totally agree with you. The only reason I'm trying to get my point across, so the people, when they get the new puppy, or the people who are on the market for the puppy, or wanted to get I always encourage get from the shelters dogs, from so many dogs around nowadays in such economy, people dropping off dogs, not just because they're bad, just because they...
people are homeless. They have no choice. And there's purebred dogs available that are really good.
Exactly.
But you're right. You got to know what you got. If you've got a terrier and you're saying, "Oh, why won't this dog sit still? Why won't it just chill out and relax like my old golden retriever?" Well, because it's a terrier. You kind of got to know what you've got.
You just got such an important thing, and I think we're gonna finish on that. There is the 3 breeds which the Vladi never recommends to get for.
Oh no, we can't finish on a negative. No way. We won't finish on that. One more thought after that. Go ahead, though, Vladi, and then one more thing after that.
3 breeds which you should never own until you have a special needs as far as for the family pets. Number 1, Akita. Number 2, Shar-Pei. Number 3, Chow Chow. Those among trainers, we call them Big 3. What?
For a change, I'm not disagreeing with you. Absolutely. You've got to have a real special place to have those dogs.
Exactly.
Shar-Peis are aloof. People call me all the time, why won't he cuddle with me? Because he's a Shar-Pei. He's not going to cuddle with you. He's going to cuddle with his other Shar-Pei mate and not you.
But let me tell you something. Just a few days ago, there is also exception of the rules. There is all exception. I'm pretty sure the people who are listening to us right now, I don't want them be
you're going to get pictures of chows with kids and cats and en masse.
I'm pretty sure there are some nice, Akitas and nice chows or Shar-Peis. I just didn't meet any of them.
I met one female Akita named Skita who was really nice.
And you know what? I just puppy Akita just few weeks ago. Amazing Akita. And guess what? That was Japanese family. And they exported that Akita. White. You will love that Akita. White with the blue eyes Akita. There, one black spot on the head. That Akita was exported from Japan. If I could kiss that breeder, honest to God, I would.
Nice dog.
At 3.5 months, that Akita puppy, I taught that Akita in one lesson how to greet the people on the street, sit, stay politely, walking without pulling under any circumstances, sit and sit, stay to the point you can run around, toss the ball, that dog will not move. On first lesson, at this age, forget it. Great. Amazing. I met one nice chow, but the only reason that became nice because I exercised the evil out of that chow now at the age of 2.5 months.
I knew a couple of chows who actually lived at an old age home, and they were nice. They greeted everybody who came, even dogs. I was surprised. They were really old when I met them, but really friendly, Really, really surprising. But like you say, we can point to them on one hand out of all these hundreds of dogs we've met. I want to ask you something. On April Fool's, IKEA did an advertisement. It was a joke, and it was on TV. But at first, I saw it on April 2nd, so I didn't realize it was a joke. And I was standing there thinking it was real, and I was shaking my head thinking, oh, no. Okay, tell me, do you think the majority of the people you go to have dogs who beg at the table and do bad things at the table? This thing IKEA was talking about was called the hint stool. And it's basically exactly like a high chair for a baby, except it has a ramp for the dog or cat to walk up and a hole for their tail. And it's designed so your dog or cat can join you at the table. Oh, no, I thought it was real. What do you think about the hint stool? I sure hope they don't market it. I think people will be buying it like crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It was very funny and very hilarious,
Do you think people will buy it if they did it?
I think they will. Yeah, I think they will. I think they will.
It also, got even harder.
It is. It will be. Deborah, what is your opinion about don't buy the little dogs for the little kids?
Oh, I agree with that. And also, when you have little kids and puppies, it's okay for the kids to hold the puppy, but the kid should be sitting on the ground. Even if the kid is 8 or 9 or 10 and the puppy's really small, if the puppy accidentally piddles or scratches the child's going to drop it, and the puppy can break a leg. So you want the kids on the ground. But generally speaking, it does depend on the breed. There's a few exceptions like Beagles and Bassets who are actually quite good with kids. But generally speaking, tiny, tiny, tiny dogs are really breakable, and kids by accident hurt them. So it's really not a good mix. You're better off with something more sturdy if you've got little ones.
Yeah, and what breeds we would recommend for the kids, for the people with the little kids?
Well, first of all, a lot of the mutts are good, but Corgis, Bassets, Beagles, if you want to be small, and then any of the medium and large dogs that are retrievers, any of the Spaniels and Goldens and Portuguese water dogs, anybody with a soft mouth and easygoing nature.
I just would love to add one, which is extremely good. Boxers.
Oh, I love boxers.
I love them too.
They're like the class clowns. They are always playing jokes on their people, and they're just so funny. Yeah, boxers are great.
And Bull Mastiff, American Bull Mastiff is a good dog for the kids.
Very nice dog for children.
Yeah,
we had one here defend kids from a bear, and got seriously wounded, but survived, but chased the bear off the children. It wasn't even its children. It was children down the street.
Yeah, I believe it. And regarding the small breeds, I always never advise the people get Lhasa Apso. For me, it's one of the worst. Of course, I'm not talking about Chihuahua too, but Lhasa Apso. I like Maltese out of those. I don't like Shih Tzu too much. Lhasa Apso would never recommend, but I love Maltese. What do you think?
Well, you know what? Darlene Arden, the author of Small Dogs, Big Hearts, she came on the show once and she had me just cracking up, and I was laughing, I guess, at her expense. It wasn't so nice, but she kept telling me that Lhasa Apsos are the guard dogs of the little dogs. And I was like, my co-host said things like, what do they guard? Barbie's palace? We just couldn't get our head around the idea of a Lhasa Apso being a guard dog. But she says that's what they were for. They hit up the robes of royalty and they would attack people. And so they're definitely not your happy-go-lucky, easygoing sweetie pie like the Shih Tzu is supposed to be. But I don't know. I don't want to badmouth any breed. I think if you love your breed, you can work with it. If you've got a dog that isn't quite what you want, you can work with it. And if you're at the outset and you're picking a dog, well, then go for personality. don't go for something like, oh, it has freckles or it has blue eyes or I really like its coat. Go for a dog you really, if you get a chance and you go to a shelter, take it for a walk. Make sure you really want to keep walking. If you feel like taking it back, it's not the right dog for you. Make sure it listens to you and you feel comfortable with it and that you're willing to exercise it as much as it needs, that you're not allergic to it. Really check it out. That's the kind of thing that matters because you're going to own them for 10, 15 years. You want to make sure it's a good match. Wouldn't you say, Vladi?
Yes, I love these things. And I believe, almost every breed can be nicely trained if you do it in the right things in the right time, especially from the puppy. Like I said before, I even was able to turn Chow Chow into the Labrador Retrievers. I really did. Yeah, but you have to have some talented people working with you and for you, no matter what dog you have. But of course, when you're getting the challenging breeds, again, it's not about bad mouthing. It's just our experience. I don't like to be politically correct person. People, I understand sometimes when I say make the people laugh, make the people mad and things like this. But also people love me because I'm like a dog. If I like something, I like. If I don't, I bite. I tell the truth. As it is, you like it or not. So yes, there is a challenging breeds like old terriers. It doesn't mean they're bad because terriers was designed to fulfill such needs, and for that.
Oh, and they're very clever. You can get them to learn tricks very, very fast. They're lovely dogs for certain people. People who want a dog who really reacts and communicates and learns lots of tricks and is always kind of sprightly. A dog who doesn't need a ton of exercise but is willing to go walking with you every day, no matter what the weather. Terriers can be very perky and happy, and they can be great companions. So, Vladi...
Yeah, ruff.
There we go. Good dog, see? Now you sound like we've been sleeping together. You better be careful. Uh-oh. Good dog,
I know you're dreaming about it.
No, I don't think so. I dream about cats. I've got cats all around me at night. Purr, purr. Somehow I think that's almost like hanging garlic against a vampire. Putting cats in my bed would keep you out. So the cats are there to stay, Vladi. Until next time. Thank you so much for coming to the party at Animal Party on Pet Life Radio. Thanks, Vladi.
Thank you, bye.
Let's Talk Pets. Every week on demand. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.